quick. For those of us who are gods for other people, don't forget your self-care, your self-love, and your self-admiration. Never forget you and all that you do. Because most times, we'll put out, and we'll put out wherever we need to put out at. When I mean put out, our energy. You know, there's so much that got going on just to live. We ain't gonna even I ain't gonna even use the term life. It's so much that go on just to live. There's a lot going on right now. You know, we go in and out of dark nights of the soul. They intense. They can be heavy. It can be frustrating. They can be confusing. And they can be tiring. It can be draining. Each and every one of us, you know, regardless of what we do, spiritually, regardless of what our gifts may be, spiritually, regardless of what our purpose is, we got to be aware of where our meat at. We got to be aware of what's on the, you know, what's the temperature on the thermometer. It's all about balance on both sides. On both sides, yin and yang. Yin and yang got a polarity. You know, for those who don't understand, we here to balance our masculinity, but then our masculine, we here to balance our, we here to balance our masculine and feminine, regardless of what gender we in. Then we have to understand that our masculine and our feminine has a masculine and a feminine that has to be balanced also. For some of us, that may be new, and for a few of us, we may have don't heard it before, or we don't came into that own understanding within our own journey. The more we follow our higher guidance, what's working against us can't work at all. And what I mean by that is, not that nothing will ever work against us. It's always something to work against us if we're moving forward. And that's a good thing. It's not bad as we used to that sounding. What work against us can't work at all because we learn how to make it work together. Then all we gotta balance is where we want to stay at. Cause it don't, you know, when it comes to energy, it don't matter where you live. It don't matter where I live. It just determines where we want to stay at. High or low. High frequency or low frequency. Higher self or lower self. And when we learn to work with both sides, when I say things like the light and the dark, angels and demons protect me in all my ways, it won't sound so foreign. Get off into these cards. I'm loving life right now, through it all. Gratitude is the attitude. The more I exercise gratitude, it keep my vibration high. It keep me finding ways to feel good for no reason at all. It keeps me connected to the frequency of happiness. Self-care, self-love, and self-admiration. Swan energy, family. Swan energy. Demonstrate grace and majesty. Grace is an attribute. Grace is connected to gratitude. And when we're in a space of gratitude, we're able to move and do things and say things with grace. And even as I'm building on it right now, I can see the frequency or the energy of majestic, majesty, or royalty that just comes with it. You don't even have to do anything to get in that space other than get in the space. You don't even have to do anything to get in the space of what is majestic or what it feels like to be majestic. All you gotta do is get in grace. Through gratitude, through appreciation, through the thank yous, through the considerations, through the concern for the world around us that's going on within. Let's see what the swan gonna say. I ain't gonna do all the talking for the swan. You hear me? The swan gonna speak for itself to us. Stillness and abundance, love and light, health and wholeness. Stillness and abundance, love and light, health and wholeness. Stillness and abundance, love and light, health and wholeness. I do hope everybody feeling good for no reason at all. Operating your truest, highest, radiant, most brilliant, authentic version of the best you. The authentic you. My name is ForWard God. I am authentically me. Thank y'all for coming through. I never know how I'm gonna be guided to do what I do, but I'm gonna stay true to being ForWard. Demonstrate grace and majesty. And I hope everybody as well as possible. I hope all is well with everyone who comes across this channel, because there's a lot going on right now. About swans. These beautiful, graceful birds come from Lakume, the ascended aspect of Sirius. They carry sacred geometric symbols of peace, calm, and elegance in their auras, which they spread into the waters and the land. Their tranquility as they float across the water impacts on people's energy fields and creates a soothing effect. Y'all can feel it? White swans teach lessons of purity, serenity, and beauty, while black ones also spread the wisdom of the divine feminine. See the energies right there? Their regal qualities ensure that they are treated with respect. Like all majestic creatures, they believe in themselves. I think they're telling us to key in on that. Like all majestic creatures, they believe in themselves. I don't know who I'm talking to. I don't know who I'm talking for, but this message is for all of us. We can all do a little bit more in having confidence and belief, gnosis in ourselves. Like all majestic creatures, they believe in themselves, so they impart a subliminal message that they will brook no interference from others, as they can and will defend themselves. So we got to know our value, and we got to know our boundaries and set them. Indeed, if angered, swans can be ferocious and formidable. Formidable means nothing to be played with. Guidance. Your guidance from this card is to develop your regal qualities. Wow. Cultivate your gifts. Cultivate your talents. Cultivate your qualities. Cultivate your character. Cultivate your expression. Cultivate your love. Cultivate your beauty, inside and out. Cultivate your happiness. Believe in yourself. Know you are special and beautiful. Trust your inner self and be confident. Act with calm, peace, and grace at all times. Even though your thoughts may be working overtime, maintain a relaxed and serene exterior, and this will bring you to equilibrium. Be charming and pleasant, and at the same time, expect people to honor you and treat you with respect. If anyone oversteps the mark with you, make it perfectly clear that this is unacceptable and you are prepared to take action if necessary. You will act as an energetic pool of peace, and this will soothe and calm everyone around you. Your pure light will then facilitate good relationships and better decisions as you are acting from wisdom and true power. May all the cosmic consciousness family receive that message. No one gonna save us, family. So by now, I hope we have figured out that we got to do it ourselves. The information, we're in Aquarian age, the age of information. And the more I find myself loving it, the more I find myself disliking it. It's a gift and a curse, for lack of better words. Because and all that life have prepared us for, now having the ability to come into contact with all that we thought we've been looking for, now having the opportunity to receive it, we don't know what to do with it. We don't know where it fit at. In reflection and in correlation to our lives, we don't know how to connect the dots. Some of us do, but most of us don't. So it ain't about the few that do, it's about the most that don't. That's why we wobbling, even though it seems like we on stable ground. The information is fascinating, but the application, the putting it into practice, that take work. And depending on where we come in on our journey at, because I've been doing this for a long time, learning knowledge, learning wisdom, learning life. In different places on my travel, different states on my journey. If you're not training hard, when you need all that life been allowing you to experience, you're gonna find yourself not knowing what to do. And in those moments, we're only do one or two things. Some fold, or some keep going forward. We got to train hard. Pause. But we got to train. We got to train, and we got to train. Cultivate our gifts. Swan spoke to it. We should know by now. We working with energy. The good and the evil, the Satan and the devil, the light and the dark is all within our control. So if God is our higher self, then Satan is our lower self. And as we experience life, we get to experience these energies and all that come with it. To figure out how we're going to balance it, how we're going to shape and mold it, how we're going to integrate it within us, because it's already going on within us if we experience it externally. So we think externally. Everything is within. But I get it. That's why I'm sitting here sharing. I know what it's like to go from sleeping in the dark to resting in the light. But you gotta move into it. That's the key. So I'm gonna say it again. I know what it's like to go from sleeping in the dark to resting in the light. But you gotta move into it. So the unseen teaching in that, or the unseen lesson in that, the unspoken lesson in that is, it's a choice. It's a choice. How I teach today is totally different how I used to teach 5, 10 years ago. I actually showed people how to walk up the tree of life, step by step. Now, it's just the wisdom from having walked up the tree of life. So you got to get it through the wisdom. But if you're on your journey, what I drop through the jewels that I share in the way that I do, it'll click lights on. It'll click lights on pertaining to your own journey. But I know what it's like to make the transition from sleeping in the dark to being able to rest in the light, to abide in the light. You know, to abide in the presence of the universal force, the universal intelligence, the generator, operator, and destroyer that we call God. I know what it's like. Who out there know what I'm talking about? Because I ain't the only one. I speak for a collective. Out of the whole collective, I speak to a collective. Out of the whole collective. It ain't for everybody, but if it's for you, you know it. You know? Sometimes the things we share gonna be more for us than the people that we share them with. I don't know who need to hear that, because all us build. In all the circles that we find ourselves in, all us be building with the people that we be building with. But sometimes the things that we share with others are the things we most need for ourselves. We need to hear ourselves. The ancestors used to say, practice what you preach. I'm just a reminder that all us can be could be aware to make sure that's what what is coming out of us through expression to others is also the same thing that's coming out in us, in our actions and in our behaviors. Practice what we preach. The universe applying pressure on us right now. You know, karma, retribution. What side you want to be on concerning karmic debt? We have a choice. Stay focused. Keep rising through the ashes. Don't get distracted by the distractions. We can't give up on ourselves. We can't give up on those around us, regardless of how frustrating it may be. Wish well for everyone. Be mad at nobody. Wish well for everybody. Thank God that it's only one you. I'm gonna say that again. Thank God that it's only one you. Oh. Because if death is the absence of transformation, then nothing is above transformation. So thank God it's only one you. Because of who you was connected to how I want to act. Ain't no telling what position I may have you in right now. So thank God it's only one of you. Somebody to catch it. Because if death is the absence of transformation, then nothing is above transformation. And if nothing is above transformation, you don't have to die to be transformed. Transform yourself by the renewing of your mind. Life moves in cycles of continuous changes. Life moves in cycles of continuous changes. But when you already there, you ain't gotta expect nothing but to meet spirit and allow it to show you yourself. Stillness and abundance, love and light, health and wholeness. Feel good for no reason at all. Thanks for the likes, shares, comments, new subscribers, donations, purchases, so forth and so on. Stay true to you, family. Keep your head up. Stay confident. Self-love, self-admiration, self-care. Peace out with God.